Let me tell you, sometimes a single sentence can shatter decades of silence. Sometimes all it takes is a quiet voice in the right place, and the truth comes rushing in like a flood. That's exactly what happened the night I saw Devin Williams walk up to Richard Blackstone, the untouchable real estate mogul, and ask almost offhand, "Excuse me, sir, but my mother had a ring just like that." You could have heard a pin drop in that five-star Manhattan restaurant. You know what I mean? Everyone stopped, forks midair, glasses halfway to lips. And Blackstone, who was used to people flinching at his gaze, looked right through Devin at first. Then he really saw him, and his face went from king of the world to ghost white in a heartbeat. Now, this wasn't any ring, nah. It was a Burmese ruby, custom set with diamonds, one of only two on Earth, made in '42 for folks so rich you and I can't even imagine. So when Devin said it looked just like his mother's, Blackstone tried to laugh it off, but his hand gripped that napkin so tight it tore. The truth is, he knew exactly where the second ring when he'd given it to Grace Williams, a young maid who worked for him back in '95, thinking she and her secrets would vanish for good. Devin kept his cool, but you could see it in his eyes. This wasn't just a waiter making small talk. This was something deeper, heavier. He said, almost playfully, "Maybe it's a coincidence, sir, though my mom always said her old boss gave it to her." That's when Blackstone started to unravel, stammering, "Does your mother still have it?" Devin just looked at him and, for the first time, let that professional smile slip. "She did. She passed 2 years ago, cancer. Couldn't afford treatment." That's the kind of silence that echoes, man. Blackstone's reputation, his power, all of it balanced on the edge of secret. And right then, he knew the past was about to catch up. Devin offered, just as casual, "Can I get you anything else? Maybe a photo of my mother?" She had a few from her days working for important people. By now, Blackstone's hands were shaking, his voice gone thin. But Devin's was as steady as ever. "Of course, sir. I'll be here if you change your mind. After all, some stories need to be told, don't they?" That was the warning showed a declaration of war, quiet and precise. The thing is, Blackstone had no clue just how deep Devin's plan ran. For weeks, Devin had watched him, how he ate, who he talked to, the arrogance, the casual cruelty. He'd spent 2 years building this moment, learning every trick, every pattern, waiting for the perfect time to make his move. And Blackstone, with all his billions, never even saw it coming. That night, after the restaurant cleared out, Blackstone was waiting outside beside his flashy silver Bentley, trying to play it cool, but barely holding it together. "We need to talk," he said, voice too sharp, too thin. Devin just nodded, like he wasn't facing down the man who'd ruined his mother's life. "Your mother? What was her name again?" Blackstone asked, fishing, desperate. "Grace Williams," Devin answered. "She cleaned your mansion in Greenwich back in '95. The look on Blackstone's face, you could tell the name, landed like a gut punch. Grace was 19, pregnant, abandoned, and she'd seen things she wasn't supposed to see. Dirty money, bribes, backroom deals with Russians. She tried to stay invisible, but one night she heard too much. When Blackstone realized she was there, he gave her that ring, not as a gift, but as a warning. "This is worth more than you'll ever make. But if you talk, you and your baby will disappear." She never said a word. She left New York, moved to Detroit, worked 3 jobs, raised Devin on her own. And when she got sick, when the bills stacked up, no one came to help. She died believing Blackstone was untouchable. But Devin wasn't done. He looked Blackstone in the eye and said, "My mother always said the truth would come out someday." Blackstone tried the old tricks, offered money, a better job, 50,000, 100,000. But Devin just shook his head. "This was never about money. It's about justice. My mother spent 29 years running, hiding, dying in silence because she thought you'd find us. That ends now. Here's the twist, and you gotta pay attention." Grace tried to tell her story more than once. She went to a reporter, but the piece got killed. She found a lawyer, but their office got ransacked. Every time she reached for justice, Blackstone's reach snatched it away. But times changed, laws changed, and now Devin was ready to fight back. Blackstone tried threats. "I've got lawyers who'll destroy you." Devin just smiled, calm as anything. "I have something your lawyers can't buy. Patience and a plan." What Blackstone didn't know was every word, every offer, every threat was recorded. Devin was working with Jessica Chun, a sharp ADA who'd met Grace years before. She taught Devin how to gather proof, how to build a case brick by brick, and when Blackstone's own son, Theodore, reached out tired of the rod and his own family handed over boxes of documents. Fraud, bribes, everything. Devin waited for the right moment. A week later, at a gala where Blackstone loved to show off for the city's elite, Devin showed up with a tray and a sealed envelope. In front of hundreds of guests and live cameras, he handed Blackstone the evidence. "You always said every man has a price," he said, "but you never asked the price of justice." When Blackstone tore open that envelope, his world collapsed, decades of secrets, all out in the open. Jessica arrived with federal agents, and Blackstone was cuffed on live TV. "Do you think this brings your mother back?" Blackstone sneered. Devin didn't get angry, just said, "No, but it means other mothers won't have to live in fear." In that moment, the hall erupted. People realized, maybe for the first time, that power wasn't just money or threats. It was courage, patience, and the truth finally coming to light. The aftermath? Blackstone's empire crumbled. His friends vanished. His name became a curse. Devin founded the Grace Williams Foundation with money recovered from the fraud, helping other families stand up to people like Blackstone. Theodore rebuilt the family business on ethics for once. Laws changed. The Williams Doctrine became a model for witness protection. And those old ghosts, those silences that weighed so heavy, finally got to rest. A year later, Devin stood in a law school his mother once dreamed of attending and told the graduates, "Justice isn't just for people with degrees. It's for anyone brave enough to chase it." The ring hung in the foundation's lobby, a simple plaque reading, "Enforced silence isn't the end of the story, it's the start of the fight." Blackstone tried one last trick, trading secrets for a lighter sentence. No one cared. The world moved on. On sentencing day, Devin felt nothing but peace. He'd turned pain into purpose, silence into a revolution, and proved that sometimes all it takes is one person refusing to stay quiet to bring a whole system crashing down. So, let me ask you, in a world where money and fear seem to rule, what do you think is the real price of justice? Is it enough to see the powerful fall? Or does true justice mean building something better for the next person who finds themselves on the wrong end of power? Share your thoughts below, because stories like this one aren't just about endings, they're about what we do next.